Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us here today. My name is Jin Yuntong. I'm from Intel Open Source Technology Center. I live in China. I'm very excited to be here. This is the very first time I'm in Vienna. Heard about Kata container. If you are, could you please raise your hand? Oh, they are quite a few people. Thank you. So, Kata container is a security container runtime, which uses a very light virtual machine as a container isolation. So the Kata container can provide the speed of container and as well the security of the traditional virtual machine. His agenda, first we will take a look at traditional Linux container technology, and then we will look how the container technology and the virtual machine technology. And then we talk about the Kata container project, and we also will talk about the Kata container architecture and how to design. And at last, we would like to talk about some of the Kata container use cases. So, Linux container. To have a better understanding of how Kata container, the security container works, let's take a look how the traditional Linux container. So, Linux container is actually operating system level organization, which virtualized multiple isolated Linux system on a single Linux kernel. And so it makes each virtualized Linux system as a container. And the process in the container feels like they own the whole operating system, right? And we know with the cloud container development, is the future of the IT development, and the container technology is the key of the cloud native development. And also with the Linux container, or what we call Docker container, right? Docker container, I think the greatest value that the Docker container bring into the container ecosystem is the cloud, is the container image, right? With the container image, the application in the container will have its own dependency in the container, which makes it decoupled, makes the application running decoupled of the underlayer instruction, which makes the application have the greatest agility of development and deployment. So let's look at the container technology. Basically, we talk about the Linux container. We know there are other container technologies on Microsoft, right? So Linux container use 3 kernel technology. One is the namespace. Namespace is to isolate all these process ID, network, IPC resource, file system, and machine name. With the namespace in Linux kernel, that each namespace have separate all of this resource, right? And control group, typically we call the C group, is to isolate the system resource for each container. It manages the system resource and assign all this system resource for each container. So it can be used to control resource like CPU resource, memory resource, the device, and the storage resource. And the third one technology is advanced file system. With this advanced file system, that doc image can be built at what is called the layer-based container image. Right? The base layer of container image is a read-only file system. Right? And when the container image, the base container image, running in container, they have an extra layer of container, which we call the container layer of container image, which is readable and writable, right? And typically, a base container image can be used to launch multiple containers at the same time, because the base layer of an image is read-only, right? And the container layer of an image is, for each container running, is writable and readable. So let's keep in mind here, all these technologies, like namespace, CPU, and the file system, they are not designed specifically for containers. They actually, exist in the Linux kernel before Docker container, technology, right? So in that way, this technology can be used in another way besides container, in container. Like if you want to launch VM or launch the process in the kernel, you could use the CPU to provide resource isolation for the process on the kernel, right? So the namespace, I think, here is most important for the container, because it provides the necessary isolation for the container technology, right? Like we said before, namespace is actually one of the methods that can be used as a container isolation technology. Actually, if we think about, that all these Linux container or namespace are actually sharing the same single host kernel, which makes the container have the security concern. So Kata container here is, I think the idea of Kata container is they use the virtual machine instead of namespace as a container isolation technology. So we talk about the traditional container technology, and I believe most of you have been very familiar with the virtual machine technology. So Kata container is actually a combine of container technology and virtual machine technology. So before we get started with Kata container, let's take a look at the container technology and the virtual machine technology. Here is a comparison of container and virtual machine. I think the left side is virtual machine, the right side is container, right? So in virtual machine technology, we have the hypervisor, right? And each virtual machine will be launched by the hypervisor, and each virtual machine will have a separate guest OS, and then have application layer and the system library layer on top of the guest OS, right? So we can see from application perspective, all these application and library and the guest OS are separate on the single host. Now, with the container technology on the right side, the application layer and also the system binary layer, they are running on the single host OS. Or in another way, you can say they are running on a single host kernel, right? Let's take a more detail of the container and virtual machine comparison. I think from the virtualization perspective, like we said, container is actually an operating system virtualization, which is why container is much fast, lighter, and have high resource utilization. Right? Virtual machine technology is a server hardware or server machine virtualization, which virtualized several or couple the machine on a single server hardware. So what is abstract from a container perspective? It is abstract to application because the application will be running directly in the operating system. Now, as far as the virtual machine, it is abstract to operating system because the operating system will be running directly on a virtualized hardware machine. The guest environment, we said, like we mentioned before, in the container, the application and the system library can be shared across container on the same host kernel. But with virtual machine, each guest will have its own operating system kernel and also binary and application. Container is a much fast, light than virtual machine, right? As far as the boot time, typically a container, it takes like less than 1 second to launch a container, but it will take like a couple or dozens, even minutes time to launch a virtual machine, right? So we have been talking about container technology and virtual machine technology, and this is always a question, like from any user or from customer, is that I'm wondering if I should use the container or if I should use the virtual machine, right? That actually is not a real question here, because one point is the container technology and the virtual machine, they are not exclusive. In the most of the use case, they're actually used together. One of the way is typically you will run the container in the virtual machine, right? This is a very common use case in the public cloud service. Now, if you have used the container service in the public cloud, like AWS, Google, or Alibaba in China, all these container services are actually running in the virtual machine, right? And on the contrary, in another way, a virtual machine can run in container, right? Now, remember what we mentioned before, all these container technology in kernel, they are not specifically designed for container. Okay, so virtual machine will be running directly on the experimental system, right? And each of the virtual machine is actually a process on the experimental system, right? And we could use the container technology like SQL, namespace to provide extra isolation for this virtual machine process, right? Okay, so even though virtual machine is much mature technology, and container is relatively new technology, so there are some concern about container technology. I think one of the biggest concerns is about the security. The security that comes, the security concern comes from the lightweight isolation of container technology, right? The security concern about how we can provide protect or isolation from malicious neighborhood. So the neighborhood here is other container running on sharing the same Linux kernel or sharing on the same single Linux operating system. Actually, they are. I think there have been a couple of serious container vulnerability in this year, right? Well, I think one of the vulnerabilities, you can actually override the host file system in the container. And I think another example is, I think in 2 months ago, this is one vulnerability, and you can access the host root privileges from container. So the question, I think one of the questions here is, even though this vulnerability is a serious damage vulnerability, but it doesn't damage the whole cloud system. I think one of the reasons, like I mentioned before, because all these container service provided in the public cloud or multi-tenancy environment are actually running in the virtual machine. So that's why the virtual machine is provide extra isolation for this container. And another concern about the container is the compatibility. Because all these containers will share the same single host kernel. So there are some scenarios that each container or each application in the container, they have like different kernel versions, right? So, like we said, container technology is a relative new technology. I think there are some concern about the networking. How can we make a massive interconnecting, especially in the product environment, and also the maturity of the container technology and the interoperability in the ecosystem. So we talk about the container technology. We talk about the virtual machine technology. Now let's talk about the Kata container. So this is a traditional container. All of these three containers are actually sharing the same Linux kernel, right? And Kata container is actually a hardware-based container which use a very light virtual machine as a container isolation. And each container or each pod, in case we are talking about the Kubernetes, is hardware isolated. It's running on a separate virtual machine. So this makes Kata container is as security as a virtual machine. And also we put a lot of effort to optimize the virtualization layer, and so it can be as fast as a traditional container. So Kata container is implemented based on the OCI spec, which is a container runtime spec implementation. So it can be seamlessly integrated with the container ecosystem. In other words, it can be seamlessly integrated with Docker or Kubernetes. And also, the container image can be running on the Kata container seamlessly without any change. So, if you have any question, you can just raise your hand and let me know. Okay. So, okay. So this is how Kata container integrate with Kubernetes. Kata container is actually a container runtime. So it's actually replacement with the run C runtime, right? So run C is a traditional container runtime. And Kata container can be seamlessly integrated with Kubernetes. And one of the great part of this is both run C container or Kata container and Kata container can be deployed in the same Kubernetes cluster at the same time. So, which give the operator the flexibility to schedule the workload. So, if the workload is trusted, so it can be scheduled running on the run C. If the workload is not trusted, and it can be scheduled to running on the Kata container. This is the history of Kata container. So Kata container is actually a combined project in the open source community. In the 2015, Intel launched a project, Clear Container project, which the goal of the Clear Container project is to leverage virtual machine technology as a container isolation. And pretty much at the same time, the Hyper company launched the project Runway, which have the pretty exactly same technology with Clear Container. So to have a better collaboration to promote the VM-based container technology, these two projects are combined in 2016 in the community. This is how the Kata container project came forward. And Kata is the project name. It's actually a Greek language, which means the trust in Greece. So the name of the Kata container it also implies the project of Kata container is to provide a trust and more secure container technology in the open source community. So the Kata container, some of the technical vision of the project is we provide a light and fast virtual machine-based container technology, and it is OCI compatible, so it can be seamless integrated with Kubernetes, Docker, and OpenStack, and also it also can be seamlessly integrated with network plugin, and it supports multiple architecture. Currently, the Kata container support x86 ARM, and some of the engineers from IBM contribute to Kata container and to support IBM System Z, IBM Power Platform, and your Kata container also support multiple hypervisors. I think originally the Kata container support KVM, KVM hypervisor. That's the most popular hypervisor in the open source community. And in this year, after AWS announced a new hypervisor called Fireplug. Fireplug is a micro hypervisor which is much faster and lighter than KVM hypervisor. So currently, Kata container also support the Fireplug hypervisor, and other hypervisor like Acon, and maybe there are more hypervisors will be supported in the Kata container. Some of the non-technical goals of Kata container is the Kata container is aimed to provide open vendor-neutral project, which Kata container is managed under the OpenStack Foundation, but it is an independent project from OpenStack. So to be very clear, both Kata container and the OpenStack project are managed by the OpenStack Foundation. Right? Now, I think we have a general idea what is Kata container and how Kata container can be worked in the container system like a Docker and Kubernetes. Now let's look inside the project architecture and implementation. Like we mentioned at the first beginning, the Kata container have the security as VM and also as fast as container. So if we are using a virtual machine as a container isolation, how Kata container can be as fast as traditional container, right? So one of the first work in Kata container is to provide a very light and fast virtual machine. And here is the comparison of traditional virtual machine and the Kata container virtual machine. Kata container highly optimized on the hypervisor layer. In this case, it's KVM and KVM. It is hypervised from the hypervisor layer and as well as the guest hypervisor layer. From the hypervisor layer, the KVM, QEMU hypervisor, and we all know that QEMU is it's a large project which has like millions lines of code, and it emulates like hundreds of devices, which in the Kata container use case, there are only couple of devices will be used in the container use case, and most of the devices are OL devices. That's for example, we don't Kata container in container use case. We don't even need a keyboard device, a mouse device in the container, right? So which give the Kata container an opportunity to highly optimize the QEMU emulation, and also from the guest OS layer. We all know how much time it will take to launch a traditional Linux system like that had CentOS or Ubuntu, right? So in the container use case, it also needs to highly optimize the guest OS. In the container use case, as a guest OS, all these workloads will be running in the container, right? Like we said before, all these application dependencies will be packed in the container image, right? So as a guest OS to host all these containers, it doesn't need all this package or dependency in the guest kernel. So which gave the Kata container an opportunity to optimize, to make a very minimal guest OS in the Kata container. And also the default guest OS in Kata container is Linux. So Linux is an Intel open source Linux distribution. The Linux has highly optimized to get a better performance, and also one of the greatest of Linux is it boot fast, much faster than traditional Linux distribution. So Kata container optimized from the virtualization layer as well as guest OS layer. So it makes the virtual machine very light and much faster. So after all this optimization, let's take a guess how much time it takes to launch a Kata container. Anyone care to take a guess? How much time it takes to launch a Kata container?
1 second.
1 second? Yes. Yes. Typically, it's less than 1 second. So it's much faster than traditional way. Now this is the architecture of Kata container. The Kata container project mainly have say 6 components. From the left side, we have shape and runtime. So, for example, if the container engine, like Docker or Kubernetes, is issued a command like create a Kata container, so the command will be received by the Kata runtime. Then the Kata runtime will send this command into the VM. because in Kata container, the container will be running in a virtual machine. So it will pass the command via the proxy to the virtual machine. Now, in virtual machine, there are three components: hypervisor, kernel, and agent. We talk about the hypervisor, and we also talk about the kernel, the guest kernel, right? So the agent here is a daemon process running in the virtual machine to receive this command and hope launch the container inside the virtual machine. And once the machine is launched, the result will be passed out of the virtual machine, and the I/O of the container will be controlled by the shim, and the shim will pass the I/O to the container engine. So this is basically how the Kata container works. Sorry, I have got a cold. So the proxy here is to connect between shim and from the host and to the agent in the kernel. So if we are using the resolved, the design is actually much simpler. There's no need for a proxy here. So it's much simple with the resocket. Okay, this is some of the detail of container network design. So from the left side, typically the container will be launched in a separate network namespace, right? And the container engine, like Kubernetes, will connect the container namespace with the host namespace or other container namespace by a virtual Ethernet, which we call Ethernet. On the right side is Kata container network. Kata container is leverage virtual machine, and virtual machine explodes virtual network device. It's a tap device. So the tap device of the virtual machine cannot be connected directly with either pair. So in Kata container, create a bridge to connect with either and tap. And the typical bridge is Linux bridge. And we also support MacBTab, which is have much higher performance. And also the TCMilo is actually the default bridge device in the Kata container, because TCMilo have the most simple implementation and the most highest performance. So the storage of Kata container. We know how we launch a container from the container image, right? So the container image in the traditional container, the container image or storage will be in the host system, and we mount the container image into namespace, which is in container namespace, right? This is pretty straightforward and easy for the traditional container, because both the container and the host, they are sharing the same host kernel. it's not work in Kata container because in Kata container the container actually running in the virtual machine. So how are we gonna mount the container image in the virtual machine? And they are actually three ways in the Kata container. One is non-PFS. Non-PFS is a network file system protocol. It can be used to mount a file system from host to the into the guest. And another way is what I/O block. In this way, all this storage and container image will be attached to the VM as a I/O block device. So another way is IOFS. IOFS is a new created project in the Linux kernel, and it leverages the I/O protocol to share file system between host and into the guest. So what IOFS is have much higher performance, I/O performance than non-PFS and I/O block device. So in future, IOFS will be the default storage mechanism in the Kata container. Let's take a look. What's the process to launch a Kata container? The first step is a create command from the Docker engine, right? And the Kata container has received this command and call the container to create a sandbox. And the first step of create a sandbox is to create a network namespace. And both the VM and the Kata shell will be running in this new created namespace. And also in the step 3, it also uses a script, a hook script to create a network device with Etherpad, Linux switch, and tab, and connect the Ether and the tab device. So the network is ready. And then we start a VM with a tab device, which we created before. And then launch the VM, and the Kata container will connect the VM and create a sandbox inside the VM, and also create a traditional container in the step 7, a traditional container in the virtual machine. So after the container is created and the Kata shell will control the I/O stream of the container. So very last, there are a few Kata container use cases. I think one of the very common use cases in Kata container is to provide a multi-tenant Kubernetes cluster, especially in the public cloud service. On the left side is how we use the container service in these days, right? We create a couple of virtual machines, and each of the VM will belong to a tenant, and we deploy the Kubernetes or container in this VM. Now, with Kata container, we can actually create a container as a service, because the Kata container is a virtual machine isolation, and all these multi-tenants can be shared in the same Kubernetes cluster. So, one last minute. So let's take some key points here. Kata container is a security container with virtual machine isolation and can be simply integrated with Docker and Kubernetes. It's an open source project under Open Source Foundation. and it supports all this platform and virtual machine. And Kata is actually a very active community. It attracts all these contributions from Intel, from Huawei, Alibaba, IBM, Google, Red Hat, and it's a maturity solution. And some of the customer has put Kata container in their production environment. And if you want to learn more about Kata container, you can always visit the GitHub. All this project, all this code and document will be available in the GitHub. And also, if you have any questions, you can always get connected with the Kata community, with email, IRC. Okay, that'll be all. Thank you.